everyone. I'd like to talk a little bit in this video about writing your personal reflection essays. This is the essay that you'll have to write on a book after we finish it. And the first one is due this weekend on Virginia Woolf's A Room of One's Own. These are personal reflection essays. I call them that to try to emphasize that this is really your own ideas. That's the big idea, is that your ideas. So what does that mean? So say I must make a point of your own about the book. What is, that point can be anything, really. I mean, you want to say something about the book. It's your reflections on the book, your commentary on the book, but hopefully a kind of a focused commentary. So essentially, it's just you writing your thoughts, okay? But with some general overall idea in mind. I think at this point, just go ahead and write it, right? But a couple things. Number one, no secondary sources. And I mean that. No secondary sources. It's just you and the book, you and the readings. I do not really, I don't, the kind of general bland information that you get on the internet about a writer or about a book, I don't want to read that. I want to read what you have to say about the book. So, feel free to quote, but only from what we have read together for the class. And so, yeah, you may want to quote briefly, because this is a 250 to 500 word essay, which is a very short essay. Right? Feel free to quote, but only from what we have read together for the class. Do not use any secondary sources. Obviously, don't use AI, don't use chatbot. That's cheating. But beyond that, it's not a book report. It's you having an idea about text. I will post me writing a very brief comment on the book. You'll see how I do it. It's only 250 words. But you'll see that I'm trying to follow up a line of thought that I opened up at the beginning. And one of the things that I like to do, and this is just a suggestion, for a brief essay, is to start it with a question. A legitimate question that I have about the book, or an idea I have about the book, put in the form of a question. And that kind of makes the essay at that point, for me at least, writes itself, because you ask a question that you're interested in about the book, and then you answer it, and that's the essay. Right? And that allows for an essay, at least a short one written quickly, to be written fairly easily. So that's just a suggestion, but that question, I think the question I ask in the sample one is, what's the relationship between money and art? Do you have to have money to produce good art? Which seems to be one of the ideas, maybe it's put a little crudely, in A Room of One's Own. One of the major ideas, you have to have £500 a year, 1920s. It's a lot of money. And a room of your own in order to write, to produce something serious. That is a very important idea in the book. And my little commentary is wondering whether that's true, and wondering, what the implications are if it's true. So really, I'm just urging you It's just your own ideas. You got to sit down. It's all got to be in your own words. Of course, you can quote, but only from the book we've read, and just develop something interesting about what we've read, which is, in this case, Virginia Woolf's A Room of One's Own.